The film you're about to see depicts the wishes of a king, the dreams of a builder, and the fate of an island. The king is the Shah of Iran, the king of kings and the successor to the peacock throne, who in the process of modernizing his country decides to turn a desert island into an international resort. The builder is an international group of architects, engineers, and designers headed by Stanley Monsef, an aggressive international entrepreneur and an architect and developer in his own right who takes the wishes of the king and molds them into unique forms from concept to reality. The island is Kish, a coral formation of 10 by 6 miles and surrounded by the turquoise blue waters of the Persian Gulf and situated about 10 miles off the southern coast of Iran. First mention of Kish in recorded history is in 325 BC, with consecration of the island to Venus and Mercury by Alexander the Great. The island was for many centuries a center of commerce and prominence. The ruins of the city of Harir on the northern part of the island is a constant reminder of its golden days with extensive agriculture, water collecting and distribution systems, splendid buildings, rich pearl fisheries, and a population of 40,000. Rivalry between contending powers in the Persian Gulf region eventually caused the destruction and annihilation of the island in 1352 AD. From then on until early 1900s, the island was haunted by pirates who used it as a haven. Essentially barren, with the exception of 2 small fishermen's villages, the island remained forgotten and practically struggled to survive on fishing, date palm growing, some pearl searching until early 1969. It was in this setting that in October 1969, under the imperial orders of the Shah of Iran for the development of the island as a winter resort, Stanley Monsef, accompanied by a small team, descended into a world of tranquility, peacefulness, yet engulfed in poverty, neglect, and dismay. The villagers welcomed the visitors and were extremely happy and jovial to hear the news of the development, knowing little or nothing about what it really meant. The village delineated an indigenous form of vernacular style with narrow alleyways, high wall courtyards, heavy studded wooden doors, and a definite cultural setting that had resulted from human intelligence and social behavior applied to a uniquely human mode of life. The villagers, especially women, wore colorful Arab costumes, with married women covering their faces with veils. While the language spoken was Arabic, they insisted to be of Persian background and proud to be a part of the rich history of the Persian Empire. To show their Persian hospitality, they entertained us with a local folk dance and chanting. Later, a visit to the ruins of the city of Harir revealed many valuable ancient ways of dealing and coping with harsh conditions and means of survival. A wealth of pottery and artifacts emphasizing traditional Persian colors of blue, green, and yellow was scattered everywhere and was later utilized in the new architectural themes and interior designs. By early 1971, after many months of surveys and feasibility studies on economic and social impacts and financing, marketing, and promotional aspects, a master plan projecting infrastructure and superstructure projects to accommodate 10,000 tourists was finalized. And under the auspices of the government of Iran, Kish Island Development Organization was formed with powers and legislative authority to implement the totality of the development of this deluxe tourist destination. The master plan included such unique features as palaces, 3 luxurious hotels of 400 rooms each, a casino complex, 2,000 villas arranged in a traditional cluster grouping to provide open space and parks, with recreational facilities in between, a marina, and a championship golf course. Included in the plan was a civic center with banks, a post office, public safety and administration offices, and duty-free shops, boasting some of the luscious names in the world of fashion and design, a radio-television station with many channels. As support facilities for the tourist center, a number of light industries were also included in the total project. The immediate construction and utilization of a port was vital to the start of construction phase, and the stockpiling of material and equipment needed for a $500 million project that had to be completed in 5 years. Isolated and difficult as the island was to reach from the mainland of Iran or the international market during the early phase, the logistics of supplying basic needs for a construction force of 6,000 was a challenge and an experience that mandated skill, endurance, understanding, organizational tasks, and for that matter, Allah's blessing. Project after project began, with each assigned a core team, a group of professionals responsible for bringing the concept to reality. An oil depot with reservoirs to facilitate the supply of fuel to all industries, including jet fuel for airplanes. A desalination plant with a daily capacity of 3 million gallons of water and a distribution network throughout the entire island. A generating plant producing 25,000 kilowatt hours with an underground distribution center. In the entire distribution system, not one utility pole was installed to infringe upon the natural beauty of the island. The irrigation system of the island supported and maintained 24,000 newly planted trees and an 18-hole championship golf course. The international airstrip and air terminal to receive 747s and the supersonic aircraft such as Concorde was among the most sophisticated in equipment and navigational systems. On December 26, 1977, Empress Farah of Iran arrived on the island for the inauguration of the island. With her came the Crown Prince and other members of the royal family. The activities of the royal family and the tourists included motorcycling, touring the undeveloped areas of the island which had been left untouched by the tourist projects, and motorboat riding in the calm turquoise blue waters around the island. Scuba diving for pleasure, or fishing and pearl searching were other attractions. The next day, December 27th, the island was officially opened to international tourists, and Concorde brought the first group of jet-set tourists directly from Paris and London on a 2.5-hour flight. Other visitors arrived from Tehran, Iran, and other Persian Gulf state capitals. Kish Island complex included a radio-television station second to none in the entire Middle East. The station, designed and equipped by RCA, included the most modern equipment for a 12-channel cable TV and 4-channel FM radio, benefiting the entire Gulf region.
رفته بود هر چی که داشتیم دیگه از خاطره من کهنه شد اسم قشنگ میونه دفتر من فراموش کرده بودم همه روزای خوبم اومدی آفتابی کردی تن سر غروب و عشقت به من داد عمر دوباره معجزه با تو فرقی نداره تو خالق من بعد از خدایی در خلوت من تنها صدایی به عشق تو زنده بودم منو کشتی دوباره.
Gambling, being an attractive pastime and hobby for both Iranians and Arabs, was a major nightlife activity. The shopping center of Kish Island was a major attraction, with boutiques such as Porto, Guy Laroche, Jean-Louis Scherer, Pierre Cardin, Balmain, Christoffel, and other famous names in fashion and design. A new village for resettlement of the entire indigenous population of about 300 families was planned, designed and arranged in the same traditional vernacular style, with winding alleyways, high-walled courtyards, heavy-studded wooden doors, and moreover with running water, electricity, bathing facilities, lavatories, and individual solar systems for each dwelling. A newly constructed bazaar, designed and planned around the old traditional theme, was well received by tourists. The nightlife extravaganza on Kish Island was reminiscent of the opulence and mystery of the story of 1,001 Nights.